Hello everybody, this is Skrilla, and today I want to show you guys how to create an email campaign in Stedb. This is just the first tutorial of probably many more to come, and this is a brand new install. As you can see, there's no subscribers. So let's go ahead and get started. First we want to go to emailings, create. We have here what's called an emailing wizard, and you can start from the beginning or you can click on any one of these tabs and just go back if needed. You don't have to follow it, but for the sake of this tutorial, let's go ahead and follow it. Okay, the first thing you want to do when you select a template is always choose custom. These other options haven't used, but I know that one for newsletter. If you're mailing really small volume, you can choose newsletter, but for custom, you want to choose that for all your affiliate marketing mails. So hit next, and we have here the name. This is important for the from section. Right here, the emailing name is just for your records. This saves a copy in the Stedb database so we can reference it later. So, for example, if we're mailing like a mortgage offer, say like some sort of mortgage kit, I like to do mortgage kit and then leave the date so I know when it went out. Now, the reply to email and the from email, I typically like to keep the same. And if you look in your network, usually they have approved ones. So I would say something like mortgage kit at em domain number, and then the same here, mortgage kit. There we go. And this part's really important that you keep it. I would not change that because when you choose multiple domains, it rotates them through, and for deliverability you want to leave that as is instead of just using one. And this box here is expanded because you can add more froms. That's great if you want to split test and see which from got the most hits or whatever, but it doesn't really help with deliverability, so I just usually keep it as one on both ends. Okay, at the bottom is the from name. This is what's going to display. Right here's the email. The from name is what the user is going to see. So I say something like mortgage kit offer or exclusive, something like that. Exclusive. That'll work. This is the display name. This is the from name. So this is what the user is actually going to see. Okay, once that's done, hit next. Okay, this is where your list would be. Since we don't have one, the list would show right underneath this check all. You can choose to check all, check one, how many ever you want. So let's just go ahead and click that. And you can target if you upload your data with the full data records instead of just the email addresses, you can select the data fields you want to target, like the address. We can target by phone number or just male or female, or just whatever you want to target. Exclude list, this is rather important as well because most affiliate networks will give you suppression lists that are known email addresses that don't want email. So you always want to upload that and find it here and check that. And I'll show you how to upload suppression at a different time. So let's go ahead and hit next. Okay, targeting. This is once you have some history and you start getting people who open their email or click through, you can start targeting by those. For example, if you want to target by the number of people who opened my HTML mailing, you just click target by opens. If you want to target just by click through, you can do that, or you can just target by both. This is more advanced stuff, and you can target the range. For example, if you have a really big list and you only want to mail parts of it, you can select the parts of the list you want to choose. Don't really do much with that. Most of that's in suppression, but here's email domains. These are ones that you just want to mail only. If you have a list and you just want to mail, say, AOL off that list, you can choose that. And these are ones that you do not want to mail. So if you want to not mail AOL or Hotmail, one of those bigger ones, then this is where you put that. So I usually leave that as is and go ahead and hit next. Okay, when? Here's a feature that is kind of buggy on the Stedb side. I always put the date in the past. Right now it says July 21st and today is July 20th. So if you were to start this campaign, it wouldn't start for probably another day. So if you want to mail it right away, I set it anywhere in the past, like say July 6th. But for right now, I'm going to keep it at July 22nd because we're going to go back and start it. And this is periodical, as you can choose if you have multiple campaigns, save the hours between when it finishes. So go ahead and hit next. Okay, here's where you would enter your subject line, your HTML body, and text. Now, these days, most of the ISP side HTML, just about all of them recognize HTML, so I usually choose either or. I don't usually choose both, but you can. So if you wanted to, like here's a CH Digital offer, and they have the campaign right here, and all you would do is just view that code, copy and paste it, and place in here, and just say for subject line mortgage kit offer. You know, this can change. Then HTML body is where you place it, and just put whatever, you know, whatever it says there, and make sure you add the links. The thing about the links is you want to keep it as is. You can copy and paste the link. Stedb will automatically redirect that link for you, so you don't have to do anything on your side. And right here, if you want to, I don't really use this that much, but you can modify some of the templates that they give you, and you can edit the HTML, and this is where you would do it. So that's done. Let's go ahead and hit next. Content actions. I always, if you're mailing a text link, always turn off redirect campaign images. It's happened many of times where I've just done a text message and it'll stall out trying to redirect images that don't exist. So for HTML mailings, you always choose, you can leave it on. For text message mailings, you leave it off. And then forward to front, I always turn off. I don't use that. And hit next. Attachments, never have I used this. This is if you're sending files to multiple people, but a lot of filters will, you know, target those as viruses, because that's what known virus creators do, is they send attachments through email. So I always hit next on that. Alright, for additional, this is kind of outdated right here, but right here is where you would add a random string to subject. These days it's not recommended because the filters are so advanced now that they can recognize that as spam techniques, and you want to avoid that. I don't choose that. I don't choose that either. Here's where all your domains would be. This is an important section to have, and you can have either match domain in PTR and rotation or leave it off. I'll show you whether, you know, if you want. It really depends on your setup whether you want to leave that on or off, and that's for another tutorial. But right here is where all your domains would display, and it'd either be a green check mark or red X, and here's where you choose them. So we don't have any choose, so let's go ahead and hit next. Unsubscribe. You want to leave this as is because this is just the page that's going to show the URL on the page itself. So you can leave that as is, and activate. Now I always like to send a test email before I actually schedule it. So I would send like a test email, say jason@datacrystal.com, and then I'd hit next, and that would send out a test email. The thing about a test email is you always have to go back. See, I don't have any domains selected, so it's not going to matter. But when you send out a text email, go back, make sure you get it. Then you have to go back to your home page and redo it. So we don't have it scheduled yet. So assuming the test went through, you go to scheduled, and then you want to change the when. So I'd put the date in the past and hit next. So we go back to activate, hit next. Well, I don't have any campaigns. Well, anyway, that's how you set up an email campaign in Stedb. Again, have any questions, and I will be more than happy to answer them.